Alright, so we got some pretty huge news regarding Sonic Superstars, and I know people are like, more Sonic Superstars, we don't really care. But listen, it's the upcoming game, we have to talk about it, right? I know the views have been poor for Superstars, but people have been showing up for the Frontier shit, that's for real. At this point, I don't even know if I should stream the game. Maybe I should just play it on my own time because the interest level seems so low for the game right now. But nonetheless, I'm still interested in the game. No, it's not going to be one of my favorites, but it's a brand new Sonic, so it will get approximately, depending on what time it releases, 2.5 days of hype, and then Spider-Man 2 Mario Wonder will come out, so. But yes, Famitsu was saying some shit. People have gotten the game early, some through legitimate means, and some through illegitimate means. Well, is it really illegitimate if you got an early physical copy? I mean, the store, I guess, let it slip early, but the person who bought it paid raw money. It's not really illegitimate. The point is, we got some shit we need to talk about. So we're gonna get to all this right now. But if you subscribe to the channel already, please make sure to subscribe, okay? So let's start with the big topic that's going on right now, the length. If you remember with Frontiers, Kishimoto put out some hours out there. He said that the game would take 20 to 30 hours to beat, and then he said double that, so 40 to 60 for 100%. This is before the updates, of course. Now, we knew that that was a gross exaggeration because obviously when the numbers came out, people were beating it well under 20 hours. My slow ass who got lost in Chaos Island still did it in like 18 or less hours. So like it wasn't 20 to 30 for the average Sonic fan. But for a casual who's going slow and doesn't power boost and dies a lot, maybe they'll cross the 20 mark, but it was a reach. Now we got the hour count for Superstars, and this one is pretty interesting, right? The tweet here says, this is interesting, and they post a screenshot from an article and it says, furthermore, according to Famitsu, the main campaign of Sonic Superstars will last approximately 24 hours, which becomes 31 by completing all the collateral activities. Stay tuned to Akiba Gamers to read our review of the title closer to release. We remind you that the Sonic will be available on PS5, PS4, Xbox, everything, and Switch and PC, right? So this was a bit ridiculous, and everyone was like, this is ridiculous. All the replies are, this is ridiculous. To the point where I had to like do some Googling to make sure this was not some fudged screenshot just to get interaction, right? So I found the website that said it, and they linked to another source, which is Jamatsu, and Jamatsu basically posted the Famitsu review scores of that week. Famitsu's like a Japanese outlet. They get Sonic games early. Like they tend to give high scores to Sonic games. Famitsu loves Sonic, okay? For the record, they gave Sonic Forces a 35 out of 40. They gave Lost World a 36 out of 40. Frontiers got like a 35 out of 40. Even 06 got like a 30 out of 40. So, I mean, look, and I love 06, but come on. They're lenient with Sonic, okay? Which is fair. I mean, if that's how they feel. It's actually 4 different reviewers. So it's like each of them give a score out of 10, and then they tally the numbers and they give a score out of 40. Anyway, the recent Famitsu scores have come out officially. It's like a magazine, so people are translated and put on their site. And you can see there's multiple games here, but we skip straight to the Sonic because that's all that matters in the world. And it says all 4 of the reviewers gave 8, 8, 8, and 8, making a 32 out of 40. So basically an 8 out of 10. And that's where it says under it, the game takes about 24 hours to clear, or over 31 hours with side activities. Now, I'm guessing this is some kind of lost in translation issue because there's no way that it took them 24 hours to beat the game, unless they're counting the amount of hours the game was on and they left it on or went out for dinner or, you know, fell asleep and woke up and continued playing, or I don't know. Ain't no way this game is 24 hours to beat. We're not even talking about some grindy 100% shit. They're saying 100% is 31. There's no way the main game is 24 hours to beat. Maybe it was meant to be 2.4 hours and 3.1 to 100%. I don't know, right? But there's multiple evidences really. There's multiple pieces of evidence to suggest that this is bullshit. First of all, Fidel, who already got the game early, or hinted heavily at it, because people are getting the game early, let's be real, has basically said, I don't know what crack they were smoking. So like that alone should be enough, right? But on top of that, the game leaked. People broke Street Date. They were streaming the game on Twitch on 8chan. Apparently there's an 8chan now. I was looking at a lot of the footage. I didn't see all the earlier zones. I came in towards like the second half of the stream. I'm not gonna spoil what's in the game. There's not really much to say, okay? I'm not gonna show any footage, but the guy was sucking hard, right? Like he was playing like us, multiple deaths. It was stuck on the final boss for ages, and I don't even think they cracked 6 hours. Right? I don't think they cracked 6. But again, I wasn't there at the beginning, so I can't fully do the math. But if those people were able to do it in less than 10 hours, I don't know where this 24-hour figure came from. They must have just been bumping Dunder and they just thought 24 is a cool number, or they were watching SpongeBob. I don't know, but don't expect no 24-hour game. You've been warned, okay? Now I'm gonna leave one final section just to discuss what I thought about the leaks. And if you don't want to get spoiled, then well, it's not really much to spoil. But if you don't want to hear anything about that, this is the point where you could click off the video. But I just thought I'd get into some pre-release thoughts on the leaks, since, you know, why not, right? I already saw like more than half the game, so around half the game, so why not talk about it, okay? From what I've seen, it's like very bare bones. Like I said this before, not on YouTube, but I said it on Discord. I said that if Sonic Mania was a grape, then this is like a raisin. It's like all the life and soul has been sucked out of it kind of thing. That's what it feels like. It's like the level design's cool, special stages are cool, the music is very, very mid at times, like very like draining to even listen to. Very draining, okay? Like you could tell that T-Lopes didn't do everything. You can tell that he probably came for some songs. I know they reused some songs from Mania as well, like the level completion music. But yeah, it was a lot of mid music. It was surprisingly mid for someone like me who doesn't like CD. Like it was even to the point where I was like, man, I could probably play CD over this, because like at least the music would be decent, right? Like, you know. But yeah, it felt very bare bones. Like it wasn't anything like inherently like bad about the game. Like, it wasn't like this is some major flaw or something like that. It was just a lot of okay, you know, which is kind of like the feeling you get when you think of like Sonic 4, like especially episode 1. You're just like, it's a game, there's nothing really wrong about it, it's just nothing really special about it kind of thing, right? And that's kind of what I'm thinking when I look at Superstars. I know people are gonna say it's classic Sonic hate or whatever. I don't know where that comes from. Like I don't single out classic Sonic, okay? I like quality games. Obviously, I prefer 3D to 2D, that is true. And I tend to prefer the modern additions to the franchise than just limiting it to classic Sonic for the sake of. But when classic Sonic is done properly, I still enjoyed it, like Sonic 2, Sonic 3 Knuckles, Sonic Mania. But I prefer quality games in general. So like with Mania, you know, the only real critique was the old stages, you know, there was too many old stages. But aside from that, everyone could see it was a quality game, and I gave it its props, right? Even classic Sonic in Generations, which wasn't the highlight of the game, it was still enjoyable. You know, the physics weren't as accurate, but the levels were still fun. Like, even though every time I replay the game, I mainly just replay modern Sonic, although I stand by classic Sky Sanctuary being one of the best classic levels, period. But yeah, when it comes to Superstar, I don't know what to think, man. It just seemed very bare bones. Maybe mods will come in and do some interesting shit with it and it'll be fun again, but like it's getting to the point where we might even need like an OST mod for this thing, because some of the songs I was hearing, I was just like, man, like we might have to dig into the archives of Sonic soundtracks and just start placing better songs from the past into this thing. Like I don't know what to do. Like it's actually crazy. And I wasn't one of the Sonic 4 OST haters. Like I thought Sonic 4's OST was enjoyable. I don't think it was the greatest OST, but there were definitely some songs in there that I really loved. So to see this OST be kind of it's kind of saddening, because classic Sonic always kind of relied on strong soundtracks. I mean, Sonic in general has kind of done that, but especially classic Sonic. Like you had those funky, catchy melodies, you know. Like when you think of some of the most iconic Sonic stage themes, you think of the classic Sonic games. They have these melodies that just pop out and stick out, you know. But yeah, those are just my pre-release thoughts. The game has clearly broken street date. Some people are saying the ROM has been leaked. I haven't seen it anywhere. But I guess 5 days from now we'll know what the deal is with this game, and we'll see what the reviews are aside from Famitsu, who've already scored it. I'm guessing since the game is coming out on Tuesday that the review embargo lifts on Monday, so maybe on Monday we'll take a look at the Metacritics and do like a review of the reviews or some shit like that. I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about all of this. Famitsu is claiming the game takes 24 hours to beat and 31 hours to 100%. Do you think they're way off base, or do you think somehow they're telling the truth and that the leakers are just playing really well? They're not. And are you looking forward to Sonic Superstars? But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. More content coming soon to the channel. But yeah, that's all I have to say right now. So Premy out.